Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission, as always, is to take a whole stack of source material and really just deliver the key knowledge you need.
To cut right through the noise.
Exactly. And today, we're tackling one of the most critical groups of nutrients out there, but one that's, I think, often pretty misunderstood. We're talking about the vitamin B complex. And this isn't just about, a quick energy burst. This group of vitamins is absolutely essential for fueling your daily performance, supporting your focus, and maybe most importantly, helping you manage a healthy stress response.
Which is something everyone deals with.
Okay, let's unpack this. If you've ever walked down the supplement aisle, you know the U.S. market is just flooded with B-complex products.
Yeah.
So how do we figure out which ingredients actually matter?
And why they matter. That's the real question. What separates real nutritional support from, just ineffective filler?
That is precisely our deep dive mission today.
It is. The market is it's huge. And our sources show that people really struggle to tell the difference between an active ingredient and something that's, well, basically inert.
So we're going to bypass the marketing hype.
Completely. We're focusing on the cold, hard biochemistry, the stuff that actually achieves that balanced, steady support you're looking for.
So how are we going to structure this?
Okay, so first, we'll define what the complete 8-vitamin complex actually is. Then we'll get into the mechanism, how they support energy in your brain.
And then the big one.
And then the big one, what makes a premium formula. We'll really dig into bioavailability.
Perfect. So let's start at the very beginning. When we say B complex, we're actually talking about a family of 8 different nutrients, right?
8 essential water-soluble vitamins, that's right. They're often sold together as one thing, but you should really think of them as a highly specialized team.
So why is that team aspect so important? Why not just take 1 or 2 of them?
That's a great question because the power is all in the synergy. They're all related metabolically, but they are not interchangeable. They function as what we call cofactors.
Cofactors, like assistants.
Kind of. Think of them as specialized tools on an assembly line in your body. If one tool is missing, the whole production line just slows right down.
Okay, so let's name the team members.
All right. Now, we've got B1, that's thiamine, crucial for nerve function. B2, riboflavin, and B3, niacin. Those are central to the whole energy production cycle.
I've heard B5 called the anti-stress vitamin.
That's the one. Pantothenic acid, it plays a big role in adrenal support.
Yeah.
Then you have B6, pyridoxine, which is key for making certain neurotransmitters.
And then we get to the ones that seem to cause the most discussion, especially for people on specific diets.
Precisely. You've got B7, biotin, which everyone knows for hair and nails, but it's also vital for fat metabolism. And then the big 2, B9, which is folate.
Or folic acid.
We'll get to the difference there later. It's important. And then B12, cobalamin. These are non-negotiable for DNA synthesis and making red blood cells. B12 especially is almost exclusively in animal products.
Which makes it critical for anyone on a plant-based diet.
Absolutely critical.
When you lay it out like that, it makes perfect sense why the sources all say that feeling tired or having brain fog usually comes from an inconsistent intake of the whole group.
Exactly. It's not usually some dramatic single deficiency.
It's just that the assembly line is running sluggishly because 1 or 2 of those tools are always missing.
You've got it. People feel run down and they look for some sort of, aggressive fix. But the B complex is all about consistency. It keeps the whole metabolic machine running efficiently day in and day out.
Which is a perfect lead-in to our next section. Here's where it gets really interesting. This whole idea of B vitamins and energy. Because so many people lump them in with caffeine.
A huge misconception. We really need to clear that one up.
So how should we think about it?
Okay, imagine your body is a high-performance car. The food you eat, carbs, proteins, fats, that's your fuel.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
The B vitamins are not the accelerator pedal. They don't make the car go faster.
So they aren't stimulants?
Not at all. They are the mechanics. They're the spark plugs, the fuel injectors, all the parts that allow the engine to actually convert the fuel into usable power. In the body, that power is cellular energy, ATP.
Ah, so without the B vitamins, the fuel just sits there.
Or it gets converted really inefficiently. They are the essential tools in the engine room of your cells, the mitochondria, that unlock the energy from your meals. They don't give you a jittery rush. They just make sure your natural engine runs at peak efficiency.
That is such a critical distinction. You're supporting the engine's core function, not redlining it.
Precisely. And that support has a direct positive effect on your thinking and productivity. The brain is one of the most energy-hungry organs you have.
Right.
So when its basic energy supply is optimized, things like focus and mental clarity, they just naturally improve.
That makes the jump to stress management feel really seamless. If they're optimizing energy for the body and the brain, they must be deeply involved in the central nervous system.
They're absolutely integral to it. And when your body faces stress, any kind of stress, physical or psychological, your metabolic demand for B vitamins just skyrockets.
You burn through them faster.
Much faster. Which brings us back to B5, B6, B9, and B12. The sources cite those as the major players for a healthy nervous system. B5, pantothenic acid, supports the adrenal glands.
The frontline soldiers in the stress response.
That's a good way to put it. And B6, what about its role? How does that help with, say, emotional stability?
B6 pyridoxine. It's a required cofactor for making key neurotransmitters. Specifically, it helps create serotonin,
Which regulates mood.
and GABA, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. It basically tells your nervous system to calm down.
It counteracts that feeling of being overstimulated. So with enough B6, your body is just better equipped to produce its own calming signals.
And B9 and B12 are in there too.
Yes, their role in what's called methylation is crucial for overall nerve health. So when you're consistently supplied with this whole complex, users often report a very specific feeling.
Not pepped up.
No, not at all. They say they feel more stable, more grounded, more focused when they're facing daily pressures. Like they just have a deeper capacity to handle all the noise.
A deeper capacity to handle the noise.
I
Love
know.
that. Okay, let's step away from the biochemistry for a minute and get practical.
Yeah.
We've established B vitamins are vital, but you said quality is everything. Why aren't all B complex supplements created equal?
It really comes down to two things: completeness and the chemical form of the vitamins themselves.
And this is usually a cost-driven thing for manufacturers.
Almost always.
Yeah.
Low-cost supplements might be incomplete. They'll just skip one or two of the 8 Bs to save money, but they'll still call it a B complex.
That seems deceptive.
It can be. But the more critical issue is that they often use forms of the vitamins that have very low absorption rates.
Okay, what does that mean?
They use forms that are cheap and chemically stable on a shelf, but your body has to perform extra metabolic steps just to convert them into a usable or active form.
Yeah.
And for many people, that conversion process is just not very efficient.
What's fascinating here is the key term we really need to understand is bioavailability. Can you give us a concrete example? The difference between an inactive and an active form.
Absolutely. The perfect example is vitamin B9. The standard cheap form you'll see everywhere is folic acid.
Right, I see that on so many labels.
But folic acid is inactive. Your body has to convert it into the active form, which is called L-methylfolate. For a lot of people, that conversion is slow or limited by their genetics.
You could be taking it, but not really getting the full benefit.
You might be getting very little benefit. A premium bioavailable B complex just bypasses that whole problem. It gives you the active L-methylfolate directly.
And I imagine it's the same for B12.
Exactly the same principle. Low-cost options use cyanocobalamin. It has a cyanide molecule attached that your body has to remove.
Wait, a cyanide molecule?
It's a tiny, harmless amount, but it's still an extra metabolic step. A premium formula will use methylcobalamin, which is already in its active state, ready for your body to use.
That really is the definition of efficiency, isn't it? You're investing in something that doesn't make your body do extra, potentially inefficient work.
And that choice directly impacts the outcome you feel. If your body only converts an inactive vitamin at a 10% rate, you're wasting 90% of what you paid for. Bioavailability is everything.
Okay, so in our source material, we did come across some specific claims about a product called NutriHarmony, which was positioned as an example of this high-quality approach. So, as a partial guides here, we want to be very clear. We're going to summarize the claims made in the source material about how this product is positioned. We are reporting on its market positioning, not endorsing it.
Correct. The claims really center on providing a solution to these common formulation problems we've just been talking about.
The first claim, which speaks to that completeness issue, is that it's a full-spectrum complex. It delivers all 8 essential B vitamins.
Which gets back to that team synergy you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. The second and third claims are about the composition. It's reportedly formulated with a very clean, simple ingredient list with minimal additives.
And crucially, the sources say it uses balanced dosages that are suitable for daily use. It avoids those giant megadoses that just overwhelm your system.
So what's the overall design philosophy that's being claimed for this formula?
The main claim is that it's specifically designed to support energy metabolism and cognitive function at the same time, a foundational daily support system.
Okay.
The sources really highlight that its quality standard is built around that straightforward composition, focusing on the high quality, active forms, and consistent user feedback about steady energy and focus.
So really, the takeaway for you, the listener, should be to evaluate any B complex against those standards.
Absolutely. Is it a full spectrum? Is it clean? Are the doses balanced? And most importantly, does it use the active bioavailable forms? That should be your checklist for any brand.
Let's move into the practical side of things. If someone decides to integrate a B complex into their routine, what are the typical usage guidelines the sources mention? When's the best time to take it?
The advice is pretty consistent and straightforward. Because B vitamins are all about energy production, you want to take them in the morning.
With breakfast.
Ideally, yes, once per day with food. This helps set up your metabolic machinery for the whole day. Taking it with food can also maximize absorption and helps avoid any potential stomach sensitivity.
And when do people typically start looking for this kind of support? Is it just when they're already feeling run down?
Not usually, no. It's often a proactive choice. Our sources indicate people reach for a B complex during, say, sustained periods of high mental output.
Like finals week for a student or a big project at work?
Exactly. High work pressure, intense academic loads, or just anytime you're consciously trying to support your long-term focus and performance, it's a tool to help your body keep up with demand.
So what does this all mean? Let's synthesize everything we've covered. The 8 vitamins, the steady energy, the active forms. What's the main takeaway here?
I think the main point is efficiency through consistency.
Yeah.
The B complex is foundational. The goal shouldn't just be to buy a bottle that says B on it.
Right.
The goal is to get all 8 essential and, more importantly, highly utilizable components that ensure your body can turn your food into stable energy and support a balanced nervous system. Don't settle for inactive forms if you want active results.
That idea of efficiency really is key. And the source material stresses consistency, taking a complete bioavailable complex every day. So here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
If B vitamins are essential cofactors in converting all the food you eat into energy, just consider this. How might inconsistent daily intake impact not just feelings of fatigue, but the overall efficiency of how your breakfast, lunch, and dinner actually become usable power for your body? It's something to mull over as you think about your own nutritional support.
And when you add in the metabolic cost of modern stress, all that mental energy needed to handle pressure, the B complex really moves from being just a supplement to a true foundational need for maintaining equilibrium.
Absolutely. A fantastic point to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the essential B complex.